Very good, gamers. How are we? This is Games and Chill, and we are in a new video on information, data, and curiosities that the heads of all the characters revealed in the NATLAN trailer will explode. Let's see one by one all the details and inspiration that we have been able to see. I have to thank Kaitaro, who helped me with this video, and will help me with many videos from during NATLAN's time, since he really likes this, and we have commented on bringing you a series of videos more focused on what Kaitaro does, which is the Yanfei of Twitter, which is the Yanfei research and lore and so on, and he is a genius and passionate about all this, and it is a part that he wanted improve on my channel so that you can enjoy it. And then, as I said, comments put a little heart there for Kaitaro, and thank you, Kaitaro. Let me know which one is yours. Favorite character from the NATLAN trailer, and if you have knowledge of the lore of this character, attach it below. Disclaimer: there will be names from Mayan, Yoruba, Aztec, and some other mythologies. Anything else I say wrong probably doesn't work for me, and many thanks to Kaitaro and the editors for the help with this piece of video. Having said this, as I said, leave a good like, a good news, subscribe, leave a good comment for the algorithm. See you in the live streams, link here below in the description, and we will see the obvious curiosities and some wild facts out there of all NATLAN's characters. Well, we start with Clitorips Clitorina Saitalali. It's called on my channel. It's going to be called Clitorips. The lady is basically based on an axolotl. I think people who live in Central America are familiar. They know what it is. Yes, it is Mad Keep. From Genshin Impact, there will be a Mad Keep and Marshtom and Swampert there, and it is good that they know that Swampert. It is one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon from Pokemon for this Pokemon Goods Nintendo No. Look at the video. It's basically based on an axolotl, just like Mad Keep, and you can see this easily because of 2 very clear things, and that is that she has decorations in her hair, if you notice, that they resemble what? What are the protuberances of axolotls? And apart from that, the color is based on the color. I know that. There are axolotls of many colors, but in theory, there is a part of the metamorphosis phase of the axolotl, concrete, in which it usually always goes through a similar pigmentation, which is this pigmentation. Pink, colorless color that has separate clitorises. As you see in the clothing, it has geometry and a lot inspiration and symbols that are openly noted, not only that they are Mayan or Aztec or pre-Hispanic. In short, it also slightly resembles the artifacts from the Burn set. The next character that will make you very excited, and remember that at the end, I left, of course, to the Archon and Oleron, or Oro Oro, as it would be pronounced in Japanese, and they have translated it like this. Shilonen, the cheetah that I know many of you said when you saw the trailer. Well, a lioness? How does she leave? A tigress, or not in mythology and in Mayan and Aztec culture, the jaguar and the cheetah. They were animals that, on the one hand, frequented the area, and on the other hand, the jaguar is specifically represented in many ways in Aztec and Mayan mythology. Shilonen takes her name directly from a goddess of corn in here. Excuse me if I miss any information, because we have been here for a long time. Turning it over and looking as precise as possible with Kaitaro, and above all, our dear Kaitaro has been the one who has helped me the most with all this, but Shilonen is supposed to be the goddess of Mexican corn from agriculture, and here there was a belief that we all come molded from dough, of cornflower dough, and so this was like the basis of this culture, that we are all molded of this dough flour, and it is our diet. It is basic, and it is sacred, and jaguars are animals. Also sacred in these mythologies, they mean darkness. The jaguar warriors were the most strong for the Mexicans, just like Kaitaro. He told me Phil de Mexicos, and how are you going to say it? Aztecs and Mayans, all the time you're going to run out of saliva, so this Miss Shilonen is supposed to. It is based on a jaguar and on this goddess of corn because of the name directly, and also as you can check, she has a very prepared clothing for the jungle with colors to camouflage herself so she can. Moving perfectly does the yawning thing, but we don't know if they will give it a personality. Related to that, when she is chill, she pulls her yawns like Ganju and like Lila, and when maybe there is some moment of war tension or something related to the nation, danger from it or summon battle, totally Kami her attitude, and I don't know if we will see this character with related attitudes. I would like to see the jaguar, and here to finish it is said that she is related as well with the sun and light, like a lot of Aztec and Mayan mythology. And in case you have the Geovision, let's go. with the following character who is Kimmich, Lord of the Eye of the Sun. They say in Mayan mythology Kimmich. He was the god of the sun and patron of music and poetry. Don't tell me poetry music, because I hope that this kid is not a 22. It seems that most of the accessories he has are runes. Mayans is to say everything that is the clothing that you see. What happens is that in the end they are forms. Geometric rhombuses and squares, just like Miss Joloti, so there is no much more mystery about her clothes, and apart from that it is commented, and this is interesting that you pay attention, that He means divine king, and that perhaps this 2D pixel art mascot that he has is related with the primordial dragon, or that it is some kind of descendant of the primordial dragons, although they have presented it to us as, well, it is a very curious, very funny 2D pet that, in my opinion, I would change Paimon for this next character, mascot and gosling, who is the little loli. The one in the prologue trailer, 7 Nations of Tivat, basically the story of Yansan, is something strange, and coming from Jolliver, she even has a shady side to her because she is a character depicted with the loli, and is supposed to represent a deity that has a somewhat turbulent history. Says the goddess belongs to Yoruba mythology. You already know that there are also inspirations from some cultures and religions of Africa, whose people stand out for being found in areas of Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and areas of Latin America like Cuba. According to myth, this divinity cannot have children, and at the same time, prove to the tribe's shaman the only way to gain the power of light is by making sacrifices. We know that sacrifices are something we are going to say mythologized in all these cultures, and you who are, by watching the video that you know more about, you can comment more about it, but it has been about, represent in many films in the cinema, in stories, books, etc., that these cultures, they are closely related to sacrifices, although later you hear people saying that it is not like that. Here the comments clarify what the situation is like. Who knows that in the end, it is the internet and all the world knows a lot, and after these offerings it is assumed that this goddess could have had 9 children or daughters, and she changed her name to Yahomo-Misan, mother of 9 children. Abbreviated here, yes, Lion-san, who said. It looks very similar to the name Lanzan, which is the name of this character who is a lowly, and who, representing one of the children or children in general, is strange. That's why I say that the lore of this character coincides directly with this one. With this one, we are going to say goddess, and this culture is strange. Aside, it is said that Ariza today is a goddess of fire who can also have inspiration, although you will see a lot of representation of fire, light, and the sun in this video, because it seems that all this kind of amalgamation of cultures had a lot of inspiration and had many people as deities. Presentations of these natural elements, the fire, the sun, the light, and to close well that, and goose. Basically, it is inspired by all these Kachina concepts, that Kachina is supposed to be the lowly. Also that she has Geo Stroller that can also go undermining and breaking the glass. And that, I always said that personally the stone pick reminds me of one of the little boys in the Stone Pika. That the editors will put it here, the name Kachina corresponds to a spiritual being in Ini. The beliefs of indigenous peoples, mainly in cultures such as the Hopi Tua or Zuni people. Personally, I don't know what exactly this is that corresponds to areas of America, although these beliefs, the majority of tribes in New Mexico, are also found here. Those who know more, they correct us in the comments. It is assumed that the Kashinas are dolls from these cultures. That here comes the figuration and the parallelism of the character with what he represents are some figures carved from poplar root that usually have many decorations and accessories. And this is represented in the character since he carries a hat, and carries a car, and carries boots and wears gloves, and assumes that this Kachina represents this type of figures following Moalani, which is the gene from Sharpedo that you all know. Moalani is supposed to be a Hawaiian representation, and also its name can be translated from Hawaiian to heaven, and is said that the Hawaiian culture was a great chief who lived on the island of Oahu and was princess of Koale. Sorry for the names, please fuck me. All the clothing represents the ancient culture. Hawaiian, highlighting its nature in relationship with water, the most important representation of it. It's about sea seals, sharks. We're supposed to be talking about the Hawaiian goddess, and the character Mualani has a shark, with which here it is practically 100% that they have been inspired. In this character, and in addition to colorful colors with cyan and white characteristics, there are also. You can clearly see that the tattoos on the skin are not so similar to the culture, Mayan or Aztec, but it is noticeable that they are more inspired by Hawaiian Maori Chaska cultures. NATLAN's next character in the which there is not so much information, and in fact the coherence of all of the signs that the character has are not so linked or in accordance with the rest of the characters in NATLAN. On why I explain it to you, Chaska does appear in Salvadoran folklore subscribers. Salvador, please correct us here, and basically this character shares colors with Chaska, which are the red colors that are usually represented. Apart from her, she wears like this hat that looks like more than a cowboy from Wild West movies. He also wears a scarf around his neck. She looks like a holster. She looked like Clorind. She looks like Warframe Prime Table apart from Clorind herself, which also reminds a lot of Table who played Warframe. And basically, the general aesthetic does not. It fits perfectly with all of NATLAN's characters, and in the trailer it is clearly seen that she is a elf, and it is not known if elf well like Alice, like Klee, like Pulcinella, of the Fatui, and maybe in a separate region where the elves are, or the exact origin of the elves is not known. And finally, it is speculated, but again this is copy on total, it is very suspicious that perhaps this outfit is more Western. It is related to the fact that she is not from NATLAN as such, but they want to represent it in some way because the cowboys who always had their ups and downs with the American Indians in the Wild West. The Redskins and cultures that do not seem to be represented in NATLAN, but perhaps in a very minimum they also want to include in NATLAN, so Chaska is today's character with the least information. What is there? And let's go with the two tops in this video, who are a character that may be related to the primordial dragon, or very powerful being important to the plot, very apart from Exvalanth that has not appeared in the trailer. That is horror because, as I said at the beginning of the video, it is generating controversy because the few people who have realized what horror it represents, or have. Also from the Yoruba culture's second character, we find the Yoruba culture they have not put, well, her name, and on top of that the translations have lost the real pronunciation because horror on. It is how a Japanese would pronounce it, or rum, is so that you understand me in Yoruba mythology. The maximum deity of the entire belief is the equivalent of Zeus or Odin in their respective mythologies. If I start reading it, will say that he is the god of everything, and he is super powerful. He is the god supreme of heaven. The Yoruba religion represents supreme and fundamental authority for narrative of creation is the ultimate creator, that is, he is God, so that you understand this character has been put there next to Capitano and for very few seconds in the trailer, and this surely means that will be quite relevant. They are wanting to put a layer of mystery on the character, but a lot. Be careful with this character because the plot possibly has a lot of relevance. Let's go with the best. That I left it for last, which is Mavica, the hitherto supposed one. With I ask you, and I say supposed because they are already commenting on the fact that perhaps her soul is trapped and they want to revive it. A phoenix, and maybe they bring something of the theme of being reborn from the ashes like the phoenix there is in the trailer itself, which, as you are seeing here, is directly related to a phoenix, and supposedly they turn into a phoenix. Apart from all this, what was already seen previously in the leaks, that perhaps the Archon also shared two forms like Furina, something similar, and a lot of find out what may be coming out about this Archon or pseudo-Archon, who may or may not still be definitely but certainly a character that people are going to take GCR5 if they could, if there is, and a character that has been the favorite of the entire trailer, also in addition to being the mommy motorcycle and the fee redhead latex, and basically Mabuka is named after the Maori deity of fire, who is Majuka with H, but not much has changed, and these little pronunciations may be from Chinese or the Japanese change when made, and this deity is represented as a woman with red hair by fire, just as she is represented in Genshin Impact. She is the wife in Maori mythology. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Give me a function for the pronunciation. Agua Tiwaroa Loa. I said, well, I believe the god of comets and the origin of fire has imagined the god of meteorites. She is the figure whose hero Maui had the secret of making fire. Maui is also the culture Basically, this is very interesting if you look at her hair, and throughout her outfit there are continually a lot of references to Aztec and Mayan culture due to the theme of geometry, triangles. The tips, the peaks, and it is distributed on the shoulders and the hair, on the legs and the neckline and here. The sleeves at the end, just before the hands throughout the suit, if you look closely, there are continually triangles, peaks, corners, and geometry has a lot of inspiration from all this, apart from Thea. Motomami, and then it also has all these peaks together seem to represent stars that it is said that, and many forums on the internet talk about maybe it also has something to do with Kanria, but it really seems to be not so much with Kanria, but rather how much you are waiting for. Relationship today, and let it be known with the Baptists bar, the heralds of Pyro, if you notice. The earrings and the red design of the suit on one thigh, which is the one seen in the fee trailer that you will be seeing here, is very reminiscent of the kind of crown they have in it. The back of Pyro's heralds actually look very similar, and let's remember that history. In Kanamilla, we met someone who helped us do the mission to find out what this is all about. Because it is important to the plot, and basically all this gives us an incredible relationship apart. That Pyro's chest also, and this thing about relating and supposedly becoming a phoenix has also brought it to us previously, he explains, when he throws the last one, that what he takes out is a falcon that we are also going to say that summons a bird of fire just like what it can do. Be aware not only that, but I think that you all know that altars in everyone. Joyover's games are continuous, and each Joyover's character within the line of it. The main and favorites repeat their performance in the rest of the games because there is debate on the networks. Because it is said that this Mavica character in the end may not be an altar of Himiko Murata or Daluk, or something like that, but we will know when more NATLAN plot arrives because, remember the Hawks? They have 25 names and they are Glai. His name is Morax, and Rex Lapis, and Gagais. His name is Buer, and Fiorina, he has. The counterpart, who is Fokeller if I Raiden, is called Belzebu, and has his sister Makoto, who is Baal, and etc. Then maybe one of the extra names of Mavica will give us some more clue as to whether he really is a confirmed altar of Himeko Murata, and today there is debate on the networks. No one can ensure 100% that it is or it is not so. A little more. This is the information of the Show. Characters from NATLAN? I hope I have blown your brains, and again a thank you in the video. Thank you, or for helping me with all this information. Leave me the comments and a good like on the video. If you want many more videos of this nature, which is the part that I wanted to improve the most about the channel. Like a glove, I started working with Quetaro, and he proposed it to me so that the most part of the lore of the game can be enhanced so that you have a 1000% complete channel. And now thanks to all the channel team, to the editors that I've given Quitar work with this video, or that he has done it. Very good. And he has given me much more than the minimum that I told him. Look, give me a little of this and I will make a good video in Quitar, or he has really pulled it off. So everyone follow him out there on Twitter, which is its main platform. Also does live shows and has a very interesting thread on Atlan that I don't know if what was explained at the beginning, but it will be here on the screen, and it is a little more than what I said in the comments how many protohems for your Mabuica in your account, because it is already insured. Since you watched this video, take good care of yourselves, have a very good day,